What's going on, guys and gals? Bonafide Hustler here, and we're going to do a live Q&A today. Not really too much prep, but anyways, if you can hear me, let me know. Let me mute this other thing. All right, so anyways, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. What's going down today. Sorry, I have another feed that was going off and just... Anyways, yeah, we're going to do an open live Q&A. Usually what I do is I put a, like a little graphic up, and then I do the Q&A the very next day, and I ask you guys to put questions on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And as of show number 3, I think there were a fair amount of questions. So I thought, you know what, maybe I'll try an evening show, and if this goes well, then maybe next week we can get one evening and a special guest will be here, wife. But that would be fun too, I think. So, anyways. I'm the Bonafide Hustler. I reside in Austin, Texas. On a part-time basis, I flip generally used items that I find from thrift stores and garage sales. And I put this stuff on eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, my antique booth, and other consignment avenues in town, and Facebook Marketplace. So that's pretty much what's going down. I uploaded a cool vlog yesterday of last Saturday's garage sale day. It's pretty cool. Some interesting things from that video. I've tested the Xbox One system that I bought for $20. I was actually playing Forza 5 on it yesterday. So a couple things when I was testing that system out, there's probably 13 games on the system itself, but then since I can't log in under the guy that sold it to me, I can only play the ones that I think were physical discs that he just downloaded to the system. But for the ones that maybe he bought on Xbox Online, or I don't know how it all works, but there's certain ones that I cannot update or get access to. Overwatch was one of them. That sucked because I really wanted to play that game. There were a couple others, but I was able to play like Wolfenstein. I played Forza 5 yesterday. There's still a bunch of other ones that I need to test. I mean, there are a lot of good games in there, a ton. So, and it works perfectly fine. $20 for an Xbox One. I was like seriously blown away. And it's a Call of Duty Modern Warfare edition as well. So really awesome. But that's a video that was uploaded yesterday. I didn't show too much of the desk that sold in the booth the very same day. And that was my fault. I should have shown that thing. It was a world market desk. I was actually pretty worried about, not worried, but I was like, I know it's going to sell really fast. I didn't think it was going to sell within hours, but it sold pretty fast. And yeah, it was a world market, like current day table that was like rustic looking. It looked like it had been made out of like steel piping, and it had a wood top. So it was really neat. I did tell my wife about that, and she got really mad because she was like, I was looking for a table for my yoga room upstairs. So she got kind of pissed. But anyways, so that's some of the stuff from the video yesterday. I urge you to go check it out. It's a lot of fun. When I make videos, I generally take you guys on trips with me, or thrift trips. I mean, actual vacations, thrift trips. While I'm on vacation, I always try to make money, however much the vacation is, and then some, by thrifting in whatever town I go to. I will be in a cool country pretty soon, within a month, I think. And I don't think I'm going to get a chance to thrift there, but I might try to. But you guys are welcome to just guess where I'm going to be in a month. So you can put that in the comment feed right now. Do I sound okay? I haven't done a sound check today. And let's get to the questions. So I'm going to shout out some people. I'm assuming I sound okay. We have We Flippin' Good Stuff. First time catching you live, bro. A big hello from Sydney, Australia. Wow. So that's huge. Like, I think that's probably the furthest reach that we're going to get on this Bonafide live Q&A today. But where are you guys tuning in from? Let me know right now. I want to see the furthest one, but I'm pretty sure Sydney, Australia, We Flippin' Good Stuff is the furthest one. Let me say hi to Aaron, Kristen, Frank Dux, Evan, Philippe, Red Rider, PJ Miller, KP, Jake Hayward, OGC, John Haywood. Yeah, so it's good to see everybody. Let's talk about, I'm coming to the end of running my entire store on eBay on a best offer kind of situation, right? But I control the offers. So they're coming in like all day long, and it's kind of annoying. I got an offer today. This is hilarious. For a $61 item, I got an offer for $58.88. I'm not even kidding. Do you think I took it? What do you guys think? So anyways, some people that are tuning in. We got Cape Coral, Florida, College Station, Montreal. That's pretty far. Okay, cool. We got a New Zealand one. That's awesome. Wow, that's pretty far. We got Wisconsin, which is Cheddarland for real. Yeah. So going back to my eBay thing, I decided in the month of February to put my entire store, like blanket everything with best offer. And after I came back from a camping trip, which was only 2 nights in the very beginning of February, I put everything on 1-day handling as well. And you know, I think it's a great thing to do. If you like being by your phone all the time, like declining offers and accepting offers, you can do auto decline and auto accepts and stuff. But I like to just have firsthand, you know, like just to look at it. As the experiment went for 30 days or 28 days, whatever, I found that I was generally making about the same as what I do when I don't have it. So the question now becomes, well, why even put your store on with the best offer thing? And that's a really good question. I don't know. I have a speculation that the activity going into eBay, whether it's replying to messages, you know, replying to offers and all that kind of stuff, is somehow built into the algorithm to where they go, all right, you know, we'll boost this person's stuff for a little bit. What I did find while I was doing best offer is there's just no way in the month of February my ASP is going to be high. Like it's going to be around 50 or maybe 60 bucks. It's just, to me, I don't like that feeling. But then again, if I can make the same amount of money, my ASP is 90 or 99. I think I had a 90. It was very high 90s last month or the month before that. So going from like that to nearly half kind of messes with me, you know? So I'm all about the work smarter, not harder mentality. And in order to maybe put my store next month without the best offer and go back to the original way I used to run it, I think I might have to include, and I said this on a previous broadcast, maybe one more thrift day a week. So I thrift usually 2, maybe 3 days a week. And I only do these hot shots for like 2 or 3 hours, right? And then I do a Saturday garage sale. That's not all day, but it's pretty much smokes up the first half. I might have to put in an extra thrift day in there, you know, and that's just how it is. I tried to put a thrift day in Monday night. In fact, I was on Instagram and I was like, hey, I'm going to do a thrift night. It's going to be awesome, you know. And I went, I duked out traffic, and I didn't find anything on Monday. And that was because most thrift stores here in Austin are cleaned out from Saturday and Sunday. So it's crazy. Like, I knew I shouldn't have gone, but I went because I was like, I just want to find some cool stuff. It's nighttime, try something different. Biggest mistake ever. So anyways, Frank Ducks in the comment is saying, I used to do best offer, but auto accept decline made life easier. So I might try that. Maybe I'll do that in the month of March. We'll see. And it seems as if the furthest is New Zealand and Australia. So welcome to the show. Okay. Let's see here. Any more? So let's get some questions going on. What's up, Aileen Albright, friends with Texas here. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you. OGC says, I'm loving the Instagram stories. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at the Bonafide Hustler. Now, while I wait for some other comments to come through, or questions really, I'll first ask you guys, are you guys enjoying the videos? I like editing videos that are not only entertaining, but they show a peek into my life and the people that I love that are around me, my brother, my wife, you know, dogs, and the things that I enjoy doing, like activities like mountain biking or whatever else it is. So I make vlogs to show a peek into my life, right? And as much as I want to show 100% thrifting vlogs, which is what it kind of started with, like way back in the day, people were just liking the fact that it was a snapshot of the life, you know? And so I'm going to continue doing that. But I want to ask you guys, like, what do you guys like about the vlogs? Anything cool? Anything rubbing you guys wrong or gals wrong, whatever? Let me know. You know, it's open communication. I'm all good with it. And let's get some questions here. Let's see. KP says, what is your exit music? It's excellent. It reminds me of something. Okay, so the exit music did come from, gosh, you know, the funny thing is a week ago, I started going, man, this exit music is really good. I wonder who makes it. I had to search my music files for this thing, and it took forever. It took like an hour to figure out what it was, but I think it comes from Zero Copyright Music on YouTube. If I can figure it out, I'll try to link it in an Instagram story or something, because the ending song is pretty cool. I like it a lot. Yeah. So anyways, Brenda Duggan says, I love your videos, love it all. What's eMoney's new name? I don't know yet. We're still looking at the video for that. Joe Molina, what's the coolest skateboard related thing you have sold? This is pretty easy. In fact, let me go to another screen. I'm gonna pull up, hold on, because I actually do want to get the accurate, I know exactly what I think it is, but it's probably this Bones Brigade. Hold on, let me look it up on my email. 1 second, and I'll tell you what the shirt sold for. Is it this one? No, hold on. Yeah, so I had an Authentic Bones Brigade shirt, right? Looking for it right now. It sold a while back, but is it this one? No, that's a Chrome Brigade. No, not that one. I'm looking at it right now, so I'm sorry if this is getting a little bit boring, but now I got challenged, and I think I know what my best skateboard related flip is. It's somewhere here. But yeah, it was an actual Bones Brigade shirt that was found at a garage sale for I think $6 or maybe $10. And for some reason I cannot search it. I wonder what other term it might be under. Anyway, I believe that shirt sold for $167, if I'm not mistaken. An actual Bones Brigade Pal Peralta shirt. Ooh, that's a term I can. There it is, Pal Peralta. I'm pretty sure I'll find that. Hold on. Okay. If you guys ever look at my guide, then you wonder, how does he get all these prices, and like how does he remember what he bought and sold it for? I can go into my Yahoo email and like search terms and figure out the eBay transaction, and I also have a sheet, like a Google document, that has everything that I've ever resold since like 2013, I think, or something like that. So I think I might have found it. Oh, I did find it. It was a 167 is what I said. Okay, maybe it wasn't 167. It was. One second, I'm drawing out. Is it 120? Oh no, it's 190. All right, so I sold it for $190. It was a $6 shirt. Eric Spears, the college picker, was with me that day, and it was a average day in like June or July, and we found that thing. It was up on someone's wall in a garage. It was a garage sale. There's a garage sale, not neighborhood-wide garage sales, but we had a bunch to see that day, and he was looking at something, whatever, and then I looked at that shirt, and it was like the iconic like skull with like the blade, and everything, and I was like, that is a Ray Rodriguez or whatever. It's a Rodriguez Bones Brigade shirt. I know that, and I asked the guy like how much, and it turned out it was like a large shirt at first, but had been shrunken like a million times, and it was like all faded, and it turned out to be like kind of more like a medium, But he immediately was like, oh, you know your stuff. He's like, that one's tough to part with. How about like $6? And I was like, all right. And I paid full price for it, $6. So yeah, it's very, very hard stuff to find. If you can find any, Tony Hawk decks from back in the day in the 80s, early 80s, or Pal Peralta decks from the early 80s, things like that. Anything that had to do with the Bones Brigade, because it was a bunch of people, right, in that brigade. Anything dealing with any one of them really is worth a lot of coin right now, because those are the pioneers of like skateboarding, really, if you think about it. So, okay, more questions. I'm gonna try to answer as many questions as I can. All right, here we go. Brenda Solom, does your wife help you ship? No, she does not. Mackenzie Yon, this is a pretty big question, but I'm gonna try to answer a little bit of it. Okay, so hey, Bonafide, quick question about eBay. What is the best way to run your store? I think the best way to run your store is respectful, with divulging as much information and amazing pictures of the item as possible, so that way you don't get many returns. Do you just list and keep relisting every month until sold? Pretty much, yes, I do. I relist every 7 days. Do I auction them if they are not selling with buy it now? No, I like buy it now. I think we live in a buy it now world, so I only do buy it now for the most part, unless I'm super kind of not trained upon the item and I know it has value, or the last thing that I auctioned on my eBay store was something in the tail end of last year. It was a $10 motorcycle helmet. It was called a Bell Magnum, and it was a $10 helmet, and I believe it sold for like $250 something, $270 something like that. And I did a 7-day auction. I started the price at like $90 or something like that and got a bid. It was amazing. So, and then every day it was like going up. So that's the last time I did an auction. Philip Voyer says, does eMoney have a job? Yes, he's training to be a nurse as of right now. He doesn't have a job. Well, he has a job. He works in the hospital a little bit, but he's going to work in the hospital a whole bunch more after he takes his board exam, all that kind of stuff. Marty Beal says, I've asked this a few times. Do I buy on Facebook Marketplace? Yes, absolutely. I buy whatever I can on Facebook Marketplace. My best flip on Facebook Marketplace was, I'll say it now, I should have made a video about it. Maybe I will make a video about it, because I actually screenshotted the ad and everything because it was just such a good flip. But I bought 2 Elliptigo bikes. All right, so these are elliptical bikes. They're going to be in the new guide, by the way. So just so you know, like the new guide's coming out, and we'll talk about that later. But 2 elliptical bikes and a home trainer is what the lady said, or something like that, like a floor trainer. And I immediately was like, all right, I think I know what that is. So if you don't know what an elliptico is, first of all, nowhere on the internet is an elliptico usually less than like $1,500 or something like that. Brand new, they're around $2,400, and they're elliptical bikes that are very popular in level kind of places like Florida, you know, things like that, Galveston, Texas. And Austin has some hills, so you need an elliptico with some gears and everything. So someone was selling 2 of those things, 2, not just 1, 2, plus a floor trainer, which is a bike trainer, for $600. And she said, and a pump, right? And so sneaky little Bonafide emailed this person and was like, I want to come check this thing out tonight, right? And this was like 5 o'clock in the evening. My wife and I were like, gonna make a really good dinner and whatever. And then I saw this thing on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, holy crap. I was like, stop everything. And I got on the message thing and I put, you know, I will, you know, I want to see it for $600 basically. And she's like, I was like, does it come with anything else? So she goes, it comes with 2 ellipticos, comes with a floor trainer, and it comes with a bike pump. And I immediately was like, I don't care about the bike pump. I already know this. So I was like, how much without the bike pump? I don't, you know, I really don't care about a bike pump. Like it just, I'm not in the game to resell bike pumps, right? So she goes, how about 550? And I was like, that's amazing, right? So 550, I zoomed down there. You know, it takes about an hour to get to San Marcos. It was an hour south, or about something like that. And pristine condition. These things have been ridden like a couple of times, whatever. I pick them up. You know, I have an SUV, so I put 1 on the rack and then I put 1 in the car. And I told Whitney, break the plans, no dinner plans. Like, let's just go. And I told her, I was like, look, if you go with me on this trip, I will give you $300. I'm not even kidding. That's exactly what I said. I was like, if you go with me right now, I'll give you $300 when this stuff sells. So fast forward, right? I'm $550 into the deal. I sell the floor trainer, which was a Kinetic fluid trainer. It was a green one. I sold that for $150 like within a couple of days here in Austin, right? So now, you know, I'm basically like, all right, I'm $400 left in this deal. I need to recoup my $400. So between the 2, 1 elliptico sold for both of them sold for $1,200. So 1 sold for $1,200, and then a week later, another one sold for $1,200. So that's pretty cool. I shouldn't say a week later, but I had to wait about 3 weeks, right? Because it was so rainy and so crappy. But then once the sunlight came out in Austin, Texas, and it was like all good, I knew that people were going to call about it. So I sold the first one, which was I think the green one, for $1,200. Then I sold the red one within a week later for $1,200, right? So yeah. And now I'm starting to think like, man, that was like, for Whitney, that was a really good money making opportunity, right? So yeah. Anyway, so literally, like, if I hadn't paid Whitney out, like, I made about $975 on each. That's crazy. That's a crazy flip. So what else we got here? Any more questions? Let's see. All right, let me see if I can keep going. Any green room meetup dates? No, not as of right now. Jesus is Lord. Should I buy a Santa Cruz Hightower? All right, cool. That's a pretty good bike. So as long as it's not, if it's a Hightower, that's cool. If it's a Hightower LT, that's even better. Should you buy a Santa Cruz Hightower 27.5 mountain bike on Craigslist? Yeah, excellent condition. I would. If it's a C or an C or a CC frame, which it should be, because all Santa Cruz Hightowers for the most part are carbon frames, and a 27.5 wheel is still heavily wanted right now. A Hightower is a super awesome bike. It's Santa Cruz's enduro bike that the enduro riders all use, but they do use the Hightower LT, which stands for long travel. But the normal Hightower should still have about 130 millimeters of travel on the front and around the rear, whereas the Hightower LT has 160 millimeter travel in the front and the rear, basically meaning it can take bigger hits, go over bigger obstacles, things like that. Joshua Davidson, tips for someone who wants to start vlogging. Yeah, I mean, the best tip I can give for anyone to get better at anything is to keep pressing forward, become as uncomfortable as you can. As you start to make money doing this, buy better equipment, obviously, but that shouldn't be the number one thing. You can literally start vlogging with your iPhone, all right? And you can do this for the first year. Because if you look on YouTube of people that vlog with iPhones, it's like sometimes you can't tell the difference. There are people that make flicks, like movies and trailers and teasers from iPhones. It's kind of weird. But it still looks really, really good. Phones these days are super advanced. I mean, they have so much going on in them. So another tip for if you want to start vlogging is it's going to feel weird. And sometimes, like for me, when I go to thrift stores, I have to be really covert. So I have to have a smaller camera than as opposed to the bigger camera that we use on the weekends. So the most important thing is if you're going to start something, just go at it at a sustainable pace. Like don't go crazy. Just like, tell yourself like, I'm going to vlog here, this, and plan out your vlogs a little bit. Like don't vlog every single thing that's going on through the day. Then you'll get so mad when it comes down to editing. So you want to kind of figure out the high points of what's going to happen that day and just film those things. And then you can merge it in an editing program. Buy it now are going to be good till cancel only. Thoughts? I don't have any thoughts about that. I still have to read the actual update, seller update as of yesterday. I think it came down. So I still have to read that. So I can't really shed anything on that. Khalil Shantu says, are antique stuff profitable? It's a very general statement. So I can say yes, then you start getting into antiques and you hate it, right? Certain antiques are valuable, but it also depends on first the antique mall that you're in. Because if you're selling out of your house antiques, then you probably have like a bazillion things around the house and like outside of the house. And you're basically like an American picker's pick waiting to happen, right? So a lot of people that sell antiques a lot of times do it out of an antique booth that's in an antique mall. And people are like, oh, that's great. I can make money doing that. It's not true. Like if there's not enough traffic and it's not the right kind of traffic, and if the antique mall is shady, there's like a bazillion different variables. So you have to really, first of all, see, can you source a lot of antique stuff in a general area? And if the answer is yes, then it's like, all right, can I sell a bunch of antique stuff in my area? Like go to the antique malls, take a look, observe for like a month, maybe 2 months. Figure out which one you want to be in, which will typically be the one with the most foot traffic and the most dynamic kind of people that are excited to like look at antiques. You don't want, window shoppers. You don't want people that are just touching everything and, not picking up a single thing. So, yeah, you have to do a little bit of like a market research kind of thing. It's like your own internal SWOT analysis, because you certainly don't want to be renting a booth in a mall that has no traffic or it sucks just because, oh, it's $30 a month, my rent. I'd much rather be in a $100 or $200 rent situation with a ton of foot traffic. So if that makes any sense. Have I had, this is a great question right here. Oh, I like this one. Where was it? Damn. Okay, here we go. Cedar Shoes. Have you had listings disappear? Yes. And it's very weird. I don't know if it's because they slipped past a relist or something like that. But one of the things I've noticed in my garage wall is that there's at least 20 items that I know are not in my eBay store anymore. They're just sitting there in boxes in the garage. I can't believe it. So now I'm just telling myself, like, every day I'm going to take 2 of those boxes down, make 100% sure it's not in my eBay store currently, but it's a suspicion kind of thing. When I read what's on the boxes, I'm like, ooh. Like today, I saw one that said ASA headset, which is like a helicopter headset thing, like people talking to the helicopter to the person next to them because it's like super loud. And I was like, that is definitely not in my eBay store, but it was sitting on my wall in a box and it said ASA headset on it, right? So I opened it today, took pictures of the ASA headset, and then I resealed it, put it back on the wall. And tonight when I'm watching hopefully or listening to some Joe Rogan podcast or something like that, because I think the Alex Jones guy was like interviewed today, which is kind of cool. He's kind of a nut, but he's kind of cool. He's kind of a nut. Anyway, I'll be listing while that's going on. So it should be pretty cool. But yes, have I had listings disappear? Yes, and I don't like it. Oh, great question. Evan Salveson says, did you ever sell the brass candle holders that Miss Bonafide made you buy? No, all 4 of them are still in the booth. I knew I shouldn't have done that deal, but she was like, this is going to sell in your booth like really, really well. Now, for every time that she has said that, I would say if she said that 10 times over the course of, let's say, a garage sale season, I would say she is correct about 8 of them. All right. So now the question is like, if I don't want to pick it up and she's like, I'm absolutely certain, I'm like, is this one of the 8 of the 10, or is this the one where I'm like, I'm not picking it up, but I had a hunch that those were not going to sell and they're still sitting there. Okay, eBay or Amazon for used items. You can sell them on both. Like I'll show you an Amazon item. Where is it? This is more likely going to go to Amazon. I picked this up last weekend. I paid $2 for it, right? It's a Jabra hands-free communication headset. They're relatively easy to test out. I can just tell by looking at this one that is like near mint condition. I mean, it's in perfect condition. Looks awesome. anyways, so there's the dock right there and everything like that. It's not something you see every day, honestly. But this right here on Amazon, relatively low rank, and it's yielding about 120 used, right? For this actual, and I mean, the barcode is what's in here too. So I'm gonna send it in after I test it, obviously, and it should be fine. So that's a used item that does belong on Amazon. Like usually a lot smaller electronics, if you can test them out all the way, I'd say go to Amazon if you are ungated in that category, right? Because there's some things like Logitech things, for example, where people are gated, you know? And you just, I mean, there's no reason to try to get, unless you're like a super big deal, like FBA seller, like I don't see any reason to get ungated in certain things because I just don't see it. So, all right, gosh, here we go. More. How many sales could I get as a beginner? Just depends. Where's the, oh, okay. How many sales can you get as a beginner? This is there are too many variables to answer this question. It depends on how much you source, how intelligent you are, how much you've learned, and how good you are at guarding your money. Because plenty of people go out there like, oh, I watch YouTube videos, and then I see them in the wild and they're picking really dumb things, you know? So you want to pick really good things off the bat so you can have a string of really good wins that'll keep you going. Because if you have a string of bad things, and I've told people, I've tried to help them, train them, but I've seen people pick up stupid things, or they're like, I picked it up. It was only $2, you know, but I thought it was cool. That's not good enough, right? When you're early on in the game, you're looking for wins. You're looking for psychological like ups, right? And so it's not good to have $2 gone here, $5 here, $10 there because you didn't count the pieces in the board game, for example, like, you know, things like that. So you want to stick to like good winners and only source winners right off the bat. And as you get really good, you can start loosening your mentality when it comes to reselling or the buying aspect. What niche should I begin with? Man, I like shoes. Shoes are all over America, and it's a good niche to like get very educated on quickly. I have a shoe guide. This is not a biased response. Go check it out in the description of any one of my videos. And for anyone that has this shoe guide that is sitting in this feed right now, let me know honestly what you thought about it, okay? I'm not gonna tell you what to say, but you can help Khalil out potentially, because I think shoes are the best. Now, people are, ooh, clothing because it's cheap. Clothing, while maybe cheap, is a drag. I think it's a drag. I think it takes a lot more time to find winners, and I think it's a very easy way to get caught up in a $10 to maybe $20 like resale kind of thing over and over and over, which I don't think people really enjoy, even if you're super good. Like everyone wants to find bigger, badder things. And I think if you set out to learn that early, right? And that's like your main thing, like, let me learn these bigger, badder things, and let me learn about quality, and let me be a part of that Facebook group, this one, let me buy this guide, that training course. Like, I think if you're on that track, you're gonna learn faster and make less mistakes. So I think shoes are a great niche to start with. I would actually discourage against clothing. Okay. When you buy from thrift stores, do you include the taxes on your spreadsheet for each item? Yeah, I do. Then G, what do you think about Gary V flipping garage sale items? I say more power to it. If it's a very popular keyword or something like that going on right now, of course he's going to hop on it. So, you know, Gary V is an attention, not hog, but he's very smart about where people's attention is, right? So if he's trying to grow his business and he enjoys, it seems like when you watch his thrifting, flipping things, it's like he enjoys it. Because I can say this with confidence, because he was still doing this 6 years ago, all right? Because a couple of my followers like really tried hard to hook me up with Gary V to go garage selling when he was in town 6 years ago for South by Southwest, and everyone was like, you got to go with the Bonafide Hustler Blood. This was when my channel was like not even 3,000 people subscriber count, right? And he never did hook up with me and all that kind of stuff, and it sucks because I did want to, you know, hook up with Gary V and show him the garage sales in Austin, Texas, and everything, but it just didn't work out like that. So for most people to be like, I think it's stupid how he's jumping on this garage sale bandwagon. Like, trust me, he's been liking garage sales for a while. He's not a stupid guy. It just so happens that maybe with people like me and other people that have made garage selling vlogs that it is now finally becoming it's finally coming into the spotlight and becoming something cool and like tangible and real and something that you can actually execute on the weekend. And maybe that's just a direct consequence of all these YouTube videos coming out, and he just happens to really enjoy it, and now he's making stuff about it. So that's my personal spin, because he didn't just start doing this because it's popular. He has been doing this. Okay, let me see if I can keep going. Oh, that's a really cool thing here. Okay, so there's a really cool Eagle Empire. I just found the gold mine in baseball bats. My first pick was an Easton Z-Core Redline, flipped for 480. Wow, that must be a BZ Z71 or ZC71, whatever that bat is. It must be a BZ. Yeah, it's Z-Core. It's probably a Scandium bat or a BZ1. It's something like that. I know that the model code of that one. I flipped one for 400. That was $1. Anyways, John Haywood says, someone once said it's more fun to sell things that you like or relate to. I think I said that. But anyways, cool. What's up, John Haywood? And by the way, John Haywood is actually someone that is helping me behind the scenes proofread the new guide that's coming out. Now, I think it's going to come out in a week, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. But it is nearly done. I mean, it's almost done. So he looked at it and got a first look, which, hey, if we need someone else to look at this guide and get it for free, maybe we should award that at the end of this video. What do you guys think? Should I actually pick a lucky person in the feed to proofread my new guide coming out? So, and kind of a funny development, not a funny development, but something interesting that you guys might not know about. I have 2 guides coming out soon. All right, one is actually absolutely free. It's coming out soon. The other one will cost some money, but 2 guides are coming out. It's gonna be pretty interesting. Pam from Fifth Mind says, hey everyone, I am new to this channel. What is up, Pam? Good to see you. Jay Skip, when are you coming to thrift in OC or LA? I'll be in the San Diego area. I know that much. It's not OC or LA, but it's pretty close. So I'll be in the San Diego area, probably hosting a half-day meetup or something like that sometime in July. That's what I'm thinking right now. That's when I'm probably going to be. That's where I'm probably going to be, San Diego area. Eagle Empire, Alex Jones Part 2, and it was 4 hours and insane. I can't wait to watch it. I mean, I saw it today going live, and I was like, oh, this is Alex Jones. Like, I don't particularly love Alex Jones or anything like that, but he's an outside thinking kind of guy, much like Joe Rogan. And I know there's a part 2, and it was like streaming today live, and I was like, ooh, but I had to go mountain biking and do all this other stuff, and so I didn't catch it. But I told myself tonight I'm gonna check it out. Mackenzie Yawn, what are your top 5 all-time favorite things to find and flip? This is a terrific question. Very first thing, radio-controlled cars, trucks, planes, things like that. I love flipping that stuff. So easy to do. Bicycles, I love flipping that stuff. Really easy to do. Outdoors related sporting goods, but not team sports related, unless it's lacrosse. But like outdoors related sporting goods, and if it is a team sport, I really like lacrosse as like the main one. But yeah, we're talking about skateboards, longboards, surfboards, wakeboards, wake skates, wake surfboards. I mean, like all that stuff. Mountain bikes. I said bikes, but all the gear that goes with bikes, all that kind of stuff. Down jackets, fleece jackets, parkas. Parkas, freaking field coats, like all that kind of stuff. I love that stuff. So that's the third one. Fourth one would be bags are great. Bags are such a sleeper. That's why I made a guide about it. But anyways, bags are awesome. And then the last one are, I was going to say shoes, but I'm going to say boots. All right, so certain types of boots, like absolutely. High winning category right there. What's your favorite Netflix show? I wish they would make more shows like this. It's kind of just, oh yeah, like everyone says this, but Stranger Things really is good because it was a very brave move to go after that category, like a nostalgic sci-fi film that was like not thriller, but it was just really well done. It had elements of like Alien, Goonies, E.T. in there, and just all these cool things meshed into there. And I thought it was a really well done series for season 1. Now season 2 was kind of stupid, but I still watched it. It was all right. But that would probably be my all-time favorite Netflix show. And then after that, it would probably be a show. Oh man, it's either between The Killing or a show called Red Road, which I thought was really, really good. I've seen so many shows. OA was really good as well. If you haven't seen the OA, you're missing out. I've seen a bunch of great shows on Netflix. Okay, what else we got here? Did I ever sell the blacklight poster? No, I'm actually going to keep that. I might frame it and put it in my booth for like a lot of money. But yeah, that blacklight poster was straight out of like the 1970s, like super weed paraphernalia thing on there. It was awesome. So anyways, Cedar Shoe says, thanks, Chris. I thought it was crazy. I enjoy watching you and Emerson do hot shots and garage sale antics. You're welcome. What's up, Uniquely Me? This is Tracy from Austin, Texas, or actually Cedar Park, I think. Hello, Chris, and all in the chat. I don't even know how many people are watching this thing. Someone let me know real quick. How many people? Oh, let's see. It doesn't even show me. Someone tell me real quick. Help me out. Help the Bonafide Hustler out. I'm going to keep trying to go out. I mean, I'm going to keep trying to answer questions here. Grandma Cheap Cheap, when is the new guide coming out? About a week or maybe more. I'm not 100% sure. It's pretty much done, though. I am waiting on a graphic, though. Matt Jackson, I want that blacklight poster you got last summer. I bet you do, buddy. Let's talk about it, man. If you really want it, you know, let's talk about that. It's sitting in my room, actually, but it's not up. Jeezer Man, how do you test a Guitar Hero on a laptop? I do not know the answer to that question because I have an Xbox 360 that tests everything on. So my brother has a PS4, and I think that backwards compatible. It's backwards compatible with PS3. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but that's how he does that kind of stuff. So anything PlayStation related, like I kind of have him do it, but I do all the other stuff. And there's some guitars here that are going out. Like you can kind of see them right there. They're going to go out in the next week or something like that. So yeah. Philip Boyer says the shoe guide is awesome. Damn, awesome, 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 awesome. Eagle Empire, all right, is fair response. Shoe guides seemed a little bit dated, to be honest. Sorry. Okay, well, it doesn't have anything hype in there, that's for sure, because the hype game is a completely different shoe game, right? If you're gonna think the shoe guide is full of hype, you know, Jordans and all this kind of, no, that's always going to be evolving super quick. And I mean, I made a shoe guide showing a majority of beginners how to make easy shoe flips. Now, if I tell you go stand in line for like the newest releases and whatever, and you know, Yeezy Boost this or 350 that, or you know, Supreme collaboration with Vans or whatever, now you're waiting in line somewhere with like a bunch of other shoe aficionados. You are a reseller by trade, but you are doing a very niche type thing. And that guide wasn't about niche. It was about shoes in general, predominantly male shoes. That's just because there's so much confusion in the female shoe area, I believe. But in the male shoe area, it's easier to find pretty big winners, you know? And so I don't quite agree with it seemed a bit dated because people have been wearing shoes forever. Vintage shoes, hiking boots, you know, this kind of shoe, that kind of shoe. I mean, shoes sell, whether they're vintage or current day, if you know exactly what you're looking for. And that's what the actual goal of the shoe guide was, to show you guys, like, this is pretty much what I've been reselling for the past, you know, 12 years, these things, right? So if it's dated, then I don't know why I'm still selling shoes like every single month. If it's dated, then I would think I would not be selling that, you know. But I think it's pretty current. But that's just me. What's the one thing you see others pick up that you know is not a good pick, but they think it is? Oh man, great question. I don't know. That's a tough one because everyone's pretty, like when I see resellers out in the field, everyone's pretty good at a lot of stuff. When I see other resellers and they're picking up chaps and stuff like that, like chaps rugby or clothing, that just, I don't know. It just, some of it doesn't, I can automatically go, okay, that person's probably taking this $7 pair of, you know, a rugby shirt or a pair of pants, and they're happy with like 20 bucks on a flip or 25, and that's fine. The big volume game, they get to not have a boss looking over their shoulder. They get to do it for 40 to 60 hours a week, probably someone helping them out. And if that's what you want to do, that's okay. You know, I feel as if you could work less and make the same amount of money because we're both at that same thrift store, for example, right? But one person is filling up a cart of clothes and I'm walking out with very few items. Now, someone could make more than me, then that's fine. But if I'm only working up to about 16 hours a week, another person's working 40 to 60, there's a difference there, right? And in that difference, I work on other things, right? And so that's things that'll get me forward, like advance myself, not so much in a learning way, but in a fulfillment way, happiness fulfillment way. things that I know that I'm good at, that I need to make like courses and guides of, and that's what I do in my spare time. So yeah, usually when I see others picking up things that are just run-of-the-mill clothing that I know they're resellers, I go, man, I don't think that's a really great idea, but maybe this is like your main thing. So John Haywood, I am making money with a shoe guide. Awesome. Okay, what else we got here? Okay, I saw in one of your vids before, I can't buy Chaco sandals with a dot. Okay, so if a Chaco sandal has a dot on each side of the side, each side of the number on the back, right? It will be a medium, all right? But if it has a dash, it's considered a wide, just so you know. Yeah, so if it says 6W on the back, it's a 6 women's, but if it has dashes, then it's a 6 women's wide. Joshua David said, I have the shoe guide and it's badass. Cool. Grab my cheap. Shoe guide helped me a lot. Oh, Eagle Empire says, I am a sneakerhead, but my view is different. Absolutely. And we can have different views. It's all good, man. That's the whole thing. I mean, for everyone to go like, oh, that's the only view to have. Well, you know, reselling is what you make of it. When people follow my channel, they see a snapshot into my life. I like to have a lot of freedom. I like to do things like that. And I like to see really how far I can push a 16-hour, you know, like reselling week, for example, which is the main reason why I started doing a bunch of local. If you notice my videos in the past 2 or 3 months, there's a lot more local sales going on, which leads me to another thing, which is there was a question last week. I didn't address it. Well, what happened to the road to 200 mentality thing, whatever? I think it's gonna be really hard to do this year. I'm gonna still chase it, but it's hard without going, let's say 4 or 5 days a week thrifting back to back. And it's hard because I tend to list anything that has really decent value on 2 other avenues, Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. And both do very, very well. So I don't think it's going to be easy for me to get to road to 200. Maybe road to like 150 or something like that. But I still have maybe 20 to 30 items that I want to purge out of my store. So I think as of today, there was like 130 active. There were 14 that need to be relisted. So let's say there's like 144. Let's say 30 or yeah, I'm not so proud of them, 20 to 30. All right, so that's like 114. So there are 114 items. If I do road to 150, and doing the local listing thing, I'm telling you, like not last weekend, it could have been last weekend. It was the weekend before that. I sold 5 things in one day, like 5 things. 5. The very first thing that sold that day was a piece of Tumi luggage that sold at Taco Deli. After that, I went downtown to meet someone to sell, and I had to go downtown anyway. I sold an Orvis field jacket, and then in that video, I captured this guy buying a bike from me. After that, there was someone that bought a Gore Windstopper jacket from me. And after that, someone bought a pair of like Red Wing 404 logger type work boots. 5, right? 5 in one day. That's pretty crazy. So, you know, that's just what I'm kind of, you know, my strategy with that is refresh all your stuff on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Fridays being the more important day, right? Because you want to have everything on Friday morning. Like I am making sure everything is perfectly relisted, ready to go. There's no renew posts on Facebook Marketplace that are open. There are no things on Craigslist that are showing, you know, renew now, whatever. All those things are ready to go. And that's a pretty big tip I can give you right there for making local money work for you, is really make sure if you're going to attack this, don't just go into your previous listings and go, great, now I have to go into all my previous listings and copy and paste my description and my titles, forget it. Start with everything from this point forward, okay? Not everything, but most of the things. Think like 70 to 80%, because there's so many things that will sell in a local market, it might blow your mind. So just take the same things from this point forward and try, all right? Just try and see how it works. And if you hate it, then I was wrong. But if you like it, I think you're going to understand a couple things. And that is, 1, there are no returns, and that's amazing. Everyone loves no returns. 2, it's all on your time for the most part. And 3, nothing governs the price or the duration for the most part. No one's be like, oh, because of GTC and, you know, this or, you know, best offers, whatever. You're going to get hit with people going, well, you take this for that, whatever, but it's not that bad. So I would definitely suggest it. I can't see it any other way. Now, if you don't do it that way, you're probably relying on one or 2 avenues heavily, whether it be Etsy or whether it be eBay or Amazon or the other one, Poshmark, right? And if you're heavy into one thing, that's cool, go crush it, and that's great. But if you want to, I think, work less, make the same amount of money, I think your items should be listed in different places. So anyways, that's just personally what I think. Jesus is Lord. What do I do if I have dope stuff, but it's just not selling? Usually dope stuff sells because dope stuff has a market. But if you think it's dope, a lot of times it doesn't matter. What matters is if other people think it's dope, right? Because you can have the most dopest thing ever, but if general people don't think it's dope, then you're stuck, right? And that's the reason why people, when they start this reselling game, if they don't take the advice of people that have been through this, like year after year, making big mistakes, like myself, not year after year, I've made huge strides, like in my learnings, like over the years, right? But if one of the things I learned immediately, and it's because I was a day trader, stock trader before, right? And that is liquidity, right? And liquidity basically is the ease of transferring of money from point A to point B between parties, transactions, contracts, whatever. But having something liquid is something that's easy to dump because there's always a buyer for it, right? When you're buying thrifted items or garage sale items, you want liquidity type items, the items that are high in liquidity that can be moved quickly, right? So you can get in and get out wherever the hell you want to. But if you're dealing with items that you think are amazing, but no one else thinks it's amazing, then there's like zero liquidity. There's very low liquidity in that item, meaning it's going to take forever to flip it because the market doesn't agree with your perception of the item. So anyways, that's basically, how it is. What's up, New York Nifty Thrifter? Hey, what up, dude? $10 super chat, coffee money, Chris. It's the least I can do. Shoes to Bucks has already made me tons of money, and I just bought it 2 weeks ago, and I only read half. Mad love. So what's up, New York Nifty Thrifter? Thank you so much for the $10. That's cool. If you're wondering about the guides and stuff like that, I'm just gonna say it right quick. The links are in the description. Go check it out at your own time, at your own leisure. At any one of my videos, look in the description and you'll see bikes to bucks, bags to bucks, shoes to bucks, and this new one that's coming out in 2 weeks. You'll see a link for that too. What's up, Seymour? Good to see you. Have I seen questions? Interesting. Philip says, have I seen the Guardians of the Galaxy movies? Yeah, I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one, but I really liked the first one. I thought it was pretty good. I saw Ant-Man versus Wasp, or Ant-Man and Wasp the other day. That was a really cool movie too. Yeah, I like Marvel and DC movies for the most part. I think the best series you can watch if you want to get into something good and not be rubbed off the wrong way, I think the Batman series are just really good. And I think it's a DC thing, but yeah, the Batman one where I think it was Bale was in the first one, the second one, and there's a Affleck on the third. I don't know, but yeah, who was the man? Sandman was the guy in the first one. Joker was the villain, and then there was Bane. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it is the best Batman out of all of them. So all three of those are really good. The one with Christian Bale. Christian Bale, I think, is the best Batman personally. Bro Science Hustler says Chicka Chicka Boom Boom Squad is representing. That's right. If you don't know what he's talking about, man, that's not good because that was a really awesome moment in right along history right there. Andrew Lee, why can I do 20 sales in 3 days and then today nothing? Is that eBay? Any ideas? I would say if you want eBay to work for you, try to put constant input into eBay. Even if it's 1 to 2 listings a day, constant, stuff into eBay. I tend to ignore messages that ask me for measurements for stupid clothing items that I just want to get out of. I just ignore them because that means I have to go back into the garage, open up a bag, measure it all out. I hate that. So, but you're supposed to get back to things like that. I think it's really all built into the algorithm. How much you engage with the platform, I think, is something that's built in there. I really do. Ricardo Gurola, what's the most profit you ever made off of one item? Okay, so I'm going to talk about profit in 2 ways, right? One is the most actual monetary profit I made on something was something I talked about earlier in this video, which is the Elliptigo bikes. Those things, I was arguably $200 into each one, and I sold each one for $1,200. So I made $1,000 on each one of those. If it came down to a single bicycle, I did flip a bicycle early in the game. It's probably my 3rd year into it. I found it at a pawn shop. It was $1,000. I flipped it on mtbr.com classifieds for $1,875. That's without shipping as well. So that was pretty cool. And then another awesome bike flip that occurred only maybe 2 years ago, a bike that I had probably ridden for 3 to 5 years. It was a $250 Craigslist pickup in the evening time. For some reason, if you snipe Craigslist in the evening, you can find some really good things. But that one I sold locally for $900 in downtown Austin. That was about 2 years ago. Nighttime, middle downtown where all the condos are. It was pretty awesome. It was a bike that I kind of missed though. It was called a Felt Chief. Okay. So what else we got? Who is stronger, you or E-Money? I am. And that's just because I think I train stronger. He trains maybe smarter, right? But I train stronger and more in three directional. I mean, that in the three planes, right? So you have the frontal, whatever the term for the frontal side. So there's like basically three planes of movement, right? I work with this plane, that plane, and then the circular plane, if that's the three planes, something like that. But anyways, yeah, I try to make sure that my workouts encompass a lot of that stuff. So who's stronger? I mean, anytime that I've ever lifted with E-Money, I'm usually stronger. Yeah, Jesus is Lord. I answered your question earlier. I found a Santa Cruz 2016 high tower for $27,500 for $600 on Craigslist. Is that good? As long as it's a carbon one, pretty good. Even if it's an aluminum one, that's still a pretty good price. So check out the stuff on that bike. But typically the fork will probably be a Fox 34 or a RockShox Pike. If you already see that alone, I mean, already it's well worth the $600. But check it for cracks and stuff like that. What's up, Bonafide? This is from Avril's Trading Post. What do you think about GT brand bicycles from Santa Ana, California? Do you know any history on the brand? Thanks. I know a little bit about it. Their triple triangle stuff was at one point very, very like desirable, and still certain ones like Pantera, Karakoram are, you know, if you get them with that awesome splatter paint, like they can sell for some okay money. But the triple triangle thing was one of those things it was iconic for. And then after that, it went to these really weird suspension looking bikes. It wasn't somewhere even carbon fiber and aluminum. And then it went to almost like a discount brand recently. But I know one thing is that GT in their marketing department, not marketing, but their social media department actually made like a mini contract with a YouTuber that I follow, Skills with Phil. He made a video yesterday. And that's one of those things like Diamondback made a contract, has an agreement, sponsorship with some of the larger mountain biking vlog channels, which are awesome, right? And everyone's just like cleaning these sites out of Diamondbacks, right? And I think GT has seen that, and they're doing that now with Skills with Phil channel, and they're, you know, giving him their new enduro bike, and I think he's currently testing the dirt jumper right now. But when you get sponsorships like that, you get money, right? And you get the bicycle probably on like a lease loan kind of thing. I don't know how it works, but you get to like really rag the hell out of it, talk about it and how much you like it, or maybe dislike it, or maybe improvements, and then they improve the next models. But essentially, a YouTuber has a lot of power in today's world, right? Someone with someone with a product that is so aligned with the people that are watching the video, if they can get through to a YouTuber and offer some pretty decent money to where the YouTuber can actually live and like make full-time videos and stuff. I mean, these bike companies aren't stupid. They're starting to figure it out. And so I think we're going to see more badass companies start to go with some of these YouTubers instead of like these high dollar, like Brandon Semenuk, you know, Lakondagi, like these massive enduro riders, or downhill riders, or the people that you see off Red Bull videos. I mean, those are professional athletes, but there are some people that are like a hair under that are getting really awesome bike deals right now. But it just started like 2 or 3 years ago. So I think a lot of the manufacturers are going to start looking for those opportunities, because these people reach millions. These channels can reach millions quickly, you know. And in today's landscape, when you're trying to sell something, you got to think social media, you got to think Instagram, you got to think YouTube channels, you know. So very interesting stuff. So GT, I can't say enough about it now, because I haven't ridden a GT in forever, even though I own a GT, but it's a vintage bike. I think if it's anything like Diamondback, I think they're going to do very well. But apparently the Diamondback 5C or whatever did very, very well. But it was coincidentally after a YouTuber or two started using them all the time. Evan Salveson, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. A lot of DVD books on Craigslist is $300, but no way I'm paying that to Resell FBA. What's a decent number to start with the seller. If you know what you're looking for in these D&D books, right? Because there's a certain, not editions, but what do they call it? There's like 1.5, 3.5, whatever. Anyways, and there's like Dungeon Master's guides. There are monster guides. There are all kinds of stuff. I've done one of those flips before, only one. Actually, a couple. One was a $40 fine that I sold for $600 locally. The other one was just like random monster manuals and things like that I don't know where I sold those. I think it might have been FBA, but they were unmarked and unmessed up, so they were pretty good. But I cannot super advise you on that. But I do definitely think that $300 on Craigslist for a lot of D&D books, because I know I had 47 or 49 books in my pile that I bought for $40 at a garage sale on a Saturday morning. And that thing didn't take very long to sell with a local pickup on eBay for $600. So that was pretty cool. All right, so 4 more minutes on this. Oh, okay, so 3.5. I heard that 3.5. So Evan Salveson is saying like the series 3.5 is 2 of them. Wow. I mean, when I did my hustle on the D&D things, 3.5 was like a large portion of them. There were a lot of duplicates and triples and stuff like that. And the person that bought them actually ran like a D&D store, like a nerd game store here in town. So he was like, oh yeah, he's like, these are in great condition. He's like, these are amazing, blah, blah, blah. I'll take them all. Like, it's good, you know? So, but 3.5 is 2 of them. Yeah, I still can't advise because I don't know how big that lot is, right? I know that mine was pretty big. And if 3.5 was only 2 of my 47, I might have been like, I would have never got like 600. I would still pick the whole thing up. I would have still picked the whole thing up for $40. I just don't think I would have got up to $600, you know? Harry Tornado, interesting. Do you think that the rise in popularity of Facebook Marketplace has been detrimental to the overall quality of yard sales? People sell the good stuff on Marketplace and leave the trash for the sale. Look, selling things on Marketplace, there are a lot of variables, right? One is you have to work and take pictures of stuff and then put it on Marketplace. So that's one thing. It's like a wall, right? For someone that, oh crap, now I got to take pictures of stuff, which means if 2 people work in the family, you know, where are you going to find the time to do that? If you have kids and stuff like that, that's going to be hard to do. Now, if someone is like stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, whatever, and they want to sell things progressively on Facebook Marketplace, I can see it working, but still you have other tasks and things to do. It really helps people that are wanting to sell 1 or 2 things out really quickly, or resellers. I think Facebook Marketplace is perfect for those types of people. But if you're a person that's like, I'm doing a garage sale every spring, I think you might sell a couple high-dollar things on Facebook Marketplace, maybe. But for the most part, you know, if you focus on good neighborhoods here in Austin, Texas, I think those are the caliber of people that want a one and done and then take the rest of it to a thrift store when they're done. So I really do think that that's the mentality, is you have to find time, then you have to meet with the people. So that's another one. You have to understand that not everyone's like really comfortable meeting with strangers, or even strangers coming to their house. And if it's not at their house, then they have to meet someone somewhere and risk this whole time variable going down. Like, are they going to be on time? Are they not? Like, this sucks. You know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of things in the way. And I just don't think it's enough to impact garage sales as a whole currently. Not yet. Mary DeLeon, will you remember us when you are famous? I mean, people kind of say that I'm semi-famous in the thrift community now. I get spotted about every single week now. And it's just, I don't know. I'm famous now in the thrift community, and I'm still making videos, you know what I'm saying? Now when the workout thing takes off, which I'm pretty sure it will, that's gonna be a different story. I don't know how much time I'll have to be making all these ride-alongs and stuff like that. I'll still try to do 3 videos a week, high quality ones. So I think if I get like super famous, I'm still gonna always, like, I'll never leave my roots. That's one thing that people, when they meet me, they know who I am, and they've been with me for a while. I've been around me for a while. They know that I have certain things that I'm super passionate about. 1 is fitness. 2 is like being active all the time. I love it. Like, I'm never gonna not live my life not doing those things. 3, eating a good diet. And then 4 is reselling. Like, reselling is just fun. Even if I make $1 bazillion, like, I'm still gonna be reselling a little bit. I'm just gonna do it because it's fun. It's fun to interact with people. It's fun to keep reselling, so you see the actual value of goods in this world, not the, I walked into a store and that shirt is $80. Like, no, like, I'm never gonna be buying an $80 shirt. I don't care how rich I am. I'm just not gonna do it. like maybe, you know, $80 jacket or $800 jacket, okay, if it's one of a kind, I have to have it, it's a limited release, whatever, like I might throw down, but like still, it would bother me if I couldn't just dictate months out of my life to try to find this thing used first. And that's usually my mentality now. And I do very well. You know, I just don't need to spend my money on dumb things. So yeah, when I become famous, I'm still gonna kind of be me, you know? Ricardo Gurola, do I ever get bad reviews? Like every now and then, but not really. I think, oh man, I think what am I saying? I think the last bad review I got was a gray mark on eBay. It was just something so stupid, like it was just dumb. It was almost unavoidable. I tried to avoid it, but I couldn't. So, do I ever get a bad one where it's like a true negative? No, not yet, not recently. Kristen Springer. Oh, hold on. In Marketplace, I leave the item on my doorstep most times, and I have them leave the money under the mat. So far so good. I used to do things like that. I really did, and I still kind of like it. But then, out of the respect of my neighborhood, and I live in a cul-de-sac, so everyone kind of faces each other. Out of the respect of people in my neighborhood, I kind of stopped doing that just because I don't want weirdos coming up to my door, and then my neighbor's going, "Oh, is this the time that he gets robbed? And like, is this a weirdo that's going to rob him or like, you know, attack him?" I don't want it to be like Boy Who Cried Wolf scenario where it's nonstop weirdos coming to my door or people that want to buy stuff. And then when the actual person comes to like kill me, then my neighbors are just like, oh, it's just a Craigslist sale, you know? Like, I don't want that to happen. I want people to be looking out after me like I look after their properties because, like I said, we live in a cul-de-sac, so we all face each other. Angela M. Here, the whole Marie Kondo effect is just taking off. If you haven't watched Marie Kondo, it's on Netflix. It's basically not minimalist living, but really decluttering more than anything. So people are getting rid of stuff all over the place. Thrift stores are full. I would agree with that. Thrift stores are major full right now. And I think the Marie Kondo thing is part of that. And I think the other part is just spring cleaning. The people that maybe don't want to have a garage sale, just put everything together and throw it down. So, okay, so Brad Perkins, hi, Bonafide Hustler. Checked out your antique booth today. Cool. No offense or nothing, but I did not buy something. Hey, that's fine. Whatever. It's a cool booth though. Keep up the hustling. Cool. What's up, Brad? Good to see you. Good to see you in the chat here. I don't expect you to buy anything in my booth. If anyone sees my booth, you don't have to buy anything, guys. It's just whatever you want. If something, first of all, if something interests you in the booth, have the booth call me. And if you know me, like, you know, tell them like, have the booth call me, like not the booth, but the antique mall can call me personally and do offers and stuff. I'll do offers over the phone. So if you're like, hey, like they say they know you from YouTube, which some of them know that I do YouTube videos, I'll make you a really good deal on something that you see in my booth. Marissa Morales, what kind of motorcycle did I used to have? I used to have 3 motorcycles. My friend wrecked my first one, a Kawasaki ZX-7R. Then I got another ZX-7R after that. And then after that, I jumped to an R1 Yamaha. So they were all sport bikes. And yeah, I like them. And I'm pretty sure I'll get a bike again one day. Solid sales for newbies to eBay. Do you recommend charging for shipping or do free shipping? I just think we live in a very free shipping kind of world. I don't know why people want to go against the grain too much on that. Everything is free shipping these days. Prime is killing everything out there. Amazon Prime kills everything. Why do you think it is? It is ease of getting the product, free shipping, you know, 1-day handling, 2-day Prime shipment, all that kind of stuff is what people want. They want the shortened effect. So if you can kind of cater to that, I think you'll be more marketable, basically. Hands down favorite restaurant. Anybody says a hands down favorite restaurant. I'm gonna honestly say it's probably Terry Black's here in Austin, or it's maybe the Salt Lake Barbecue. Both I really, really enjoy, but Terry Black's Barbecue in Austin, Texas. And I'll take you guys with me on one of these episodes. In fact, I'll make it to where I go thrifting only to buy something at Terry Black's, and you'll see why. But yeah, Terry Black's is amazing, amazing barbecue. It's on Barton Springs Road. The line is so long to this place. If you go at peak times, it's crazy. And then yeah, I won't tell you guys anything more than that. I don't want to spoil the video. The video will be awesome. But that I can justify blowing, you know, 50 to 60 on a meal, something like that. It kind of bothers me sometimes to blow usually above like 35 bucks for like 2 people. Last weekend, my wife and I went to a Yucatan, like authentic Yucatan, like cuisine thing. So we had good food, 1 or 2 appetizers, I cannot remember, 3 margaritas, and the bill before tip, was it 59? Oh, it might have been 69. It was like, oh, like you can have all the fun in the world, but when you see that bill, I mean, you got to pay it, and it sucks. I was like, oh man, all the money that could have bought, all the things I could have bought with that money. I could have got a Costco and had like, all this food. That's what I think. So, anyways, yeah. So you kind of have to splurge once in a while. And for us, we've been doing so much home cooking that going out to a dinner was just an anomaly at that point. So it was, let's throw down some money and get a good dinner, Average trading post. Bonafide, do you ever sell pre-owned motorcycle helmets? I do, but there is a 5-year rule. I think it's 5 years that the helmet technically should be replaced every 5 years. But then when you deal with these vintage cafe racer helmets and things like that, people throw those rules kind of out the window when they're buying them on eBay. So do I ever sell pre-owned motorcycle helmets? I do. I mean, I just list them right there on Facebook. I'll put them on Craigslist, and then the really, really good ones I'll put on eBay. And whether they're within 5 years or after 5 years, I think people can kind of hone in, like collector type people can hone in on the design pretty, they already know, like, is this thing pre-2000, like pretty quick. So, yeah, technically, I don't know if you're technically not supposed to sell a helmet that is over 5 years, because I know with like baby related items, I know you're not supposed to sell some of that stuff. But when it comes to motorcycle helmets, I'm not 100% sure if it's legally something that you're not supposed to do, or if it's just an actual thing known, like don't buy a helmet that's over 5 years old. So anyways, Cindy O'Reilly, hi, I love to watch you. Thank you so much. That is cool. Have I ever gotten into the buying clearance items and selling it on Amazon? This is from Ricardo Garola. Yes, I used to do FBA fourth quarter like a madman, 3 years in a row, all years except for last year. And that's something I never made videos about, because how are you going to make videos about what you're buying and sending into FBA? It's like nearly impossible. There were some hints of that stuff in previous videos, like hints of it. Like I showed the Prius, and like the back of the Prius was full of bags and everything like that from Target. My wife was coming with me all the time. She loved doing it. She had the Amazon seller app on her phone. We were, scanning and doing a lot of fun stuff, and it was cool. These were the years when Skylanders were big, Shopkins was really big. Those dinosaur-looking things, what are they called? Same company that makes like Zoomers or something like that. I think it's called Zoomers, and then the dinosaurs were called Boomers or something like that. Anyways, whatever that was, like all those things, it's reselling the hell out of it. I mean, it was the last year that like NCAA 2014 was like being axed off the shelves, but no one knew it was going to be like that collectible game, for example, things like that. I did it back then. It was a lot of fun. It was weird because they're like shipping off every single day, for like a month straight, and then sometimes multiple times in a day, which was kind of cool. Those Q4s were a lot of fun. I'm glad I did it because I know how to do it if I ever want to again. But things have been so restricted lately, and it's just the return windows seem to grow. I mean, there's someone in the green room. Oh, maybe it's not the green room, somewhere else. But someone had a return that Amazon sided with from back in like July of last year. It was crazy. So, anyways, I could not believe it. All right. I think that, here's the last one I want to answer real quick. Who do I watch on YouTube? My phone's in the other room, specifically put there because it rings all the time. But what comes to mind, a lot of mountain biking channels. So Skills with Phil, not Hustler Hacks, but Seth the Bike Hacks, the Single Track Sampler, the 3 main ones I watch. I also watch Jamie O'Brien. It's a Red Bull surfer athlete guy. I watch him all the time. I have Evan Carmichael for like some good pump you up kind of stuff. I have Alex Becker in there as well. Strangely enough, I have Ty Lopez in there. When it comes to entertainment, I follow The Nerdist, which I think is kind of cool. When it comes to comedy, I will follow the Hodge twins for the most part. When it comes to just learning something and being relaxed at the same time, I like Joe Rogan. I don't think anybody is better than Joe Rogan when it comes to just highlighting something that you had no idea was like that cool. So I think Joe Rogan's perfect for that. I don't think in our lifetime anyone's going to be anywhere close to that guy. I don't idolize Joe Rogan, but once you get into what he does, I think you realize this guy is one in a million. Like this, there's no one like him. There's no one like him that is that fascinated and runs a freaking podcast, a successful podcast, and loves what he does. Like he's an awesome guy, like period. Like, so there are a lot of people that hate him. I just think for what he has given to the world, I think he's an amazing guy. And then when it comes down to workout stuff, I watch Steve Cook, Christian Guzman, and who else? Max Tuning, and a couple others. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So Mighty Bell says, Bonafide, how about a bike channel? You just talked about it. You would do a great job. So that's the kind of thing about my workout channel is I'm going to try to evolve it into like, you know, staying active and as aesthetic as possible. That's the workout channel in a nutshell right there. So how to really piece it all together to where, you know, if you're just chilling on the beach, you feel super comfortable with the workouts that you've done and the body that you have. You feel aesthetic. People are looking at you. You feel amazing. That's one part that I think every male and hopefully every female as well should get to feel sometime in their life. I think it's a important feeling. People were like, oh, it's vain, it's vanity, you know, aesthetic is stupid. Like, you know, aesthetics and strong workout discipline got me very far in life. And that's for another video, but it got me extremely far. It was ridiculous. It got my resume pulled from the bottom of the pile here, put at the top of the pile there. I'm not even kidding. It got me into the craziest and wildest frat parties back in the day. It got me very, 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 very far. But like I said, it's for another day. So I think everyone should feel that at some point in their life. I think people should also be super healthy all the time. So that's not just one time. That's all the time. You should be super healthy. It's very important because your health depends on it. I mean, especially if you have kids, you're going to want to see your kids become older kids and grown-ups and go to college. And, you know, none of this stuff is super guaranteed. Anyone can die at any moment. But if you can make good educated steps into having a sustainable, awesome diet and workout plan that you can do all the time and hopefully with your kids too, I think you are winning at life. All right. And that's what the workout channel is about really balancing all of that. So having that awesome aesthetic feeling, working out, you know, really the bare minimum, right? Because the gym is cool, but it's not that cool, right? All the cool stuff is outside. And then eating, like it's a big mystery to most people. And these little life hacks like sleep, stress reduction, things like that. I think it's really important. I think it's very, very important to master these things or to at least experience some of those things a couple times, you know? So that's what the channel is about. This channel is just basically, there's no fake stuff. It's how I run my life. And I value these things very, very highly. I think it's, you know, to me, it's priority over money and sometimes over family, which kind of sucks. But, you know, if I'm not healthy enough to be happy, how am I supposed to make anyone else happy, you know? So anyways, that's pretty much the workout challenge. You should go check it out. It's called Bod Damn. And I'm going to do something very special right now. So Cindy Herrera says for fresh eggs, $5. Man, Cindy Herrera just bought me about 10 pasture-raised eggs because I think 12 is $6. So Cindy, thank you so much. I will absolutely buy eggs with that money. Okay, so let me do this one last thing because I need to go eat and I need to talk to my parents because we talk every night. So here it is. Anyone that wants, not anyone, I'm gonna pick one person. Let me just make sure I get my sentence right here. If you want to proofread my guide, all right, my new guide that's coming out in about a week, maybe a little bit more, then all I need you to put down is review. All right, I'm gonna pick some random person right now, and you have to find me on Facebook and send me a message like, I won, here's my handle, and show me proof, you know, whatever. I need one person, all right? I already have another person that's doing it, but I want another person to help me review this guide, all right? So you're gonna get to see the guide for free. I'm not gonna ask you, you're not gonna pay me anything. So all you have to put is review. That's it. Review. That's it. And I'm going to go up and down a couple times with my eyes closed, and then I'm going to watch where my finger lands. Okay? So you have to put review. Yeah, and if you're not on Facebook, find a way to get a hold of me so I can get you this guide. It's not huge. It's not like super gigabytes big or anything like that. I did shrink it to where it can be sent pretty quickly back and forth. So yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Some people says the name sucks, to be honest. The name of the guide as of right now is High Ticket Items to Bucks, but we'll see if that changes. I personally like it, but it could also be called, well, you'll see. I had a couple other things that I was going to name it. All right, so everyone's writing a review right now. I'm going to give it 5 more seconds, and then I'm going to pick a winner. Sweet. And someone says a review. I used to be a reporter. So like, yeah, I want you to look through this guide. And then when I send you the guide, I'm going to ask you a couple things like, this is what I'm looking for. So let me know. And within 24 hours, you'll get the guide. And your assignment is to look through it, enjoy it, and let me know where the typos are, how the font contrast looks, all that kind of stuff on your mobile device and on your laptop, because that's where both people are going to be looking at it. So that's what I need. You'll see. So don't be all afraid about it. Right now, as it stands, there's a free guide about to be given out to one lucky person. Okay, so a lot of reviews. Here we go. I'm just going to put my finger down. I'm going to go up and down a bazillion times, and then I'm going to look at where my finger lands, and I'm just going to give it to that person. So here we go. Let me put my finger in the middle of the page. Right there. I'm going to go up and down, up and down, up, down, up, down, and I'm going to look here in 1 second. All right. Deb Smith. You're going to be the person that's going to review my guide because it landed right on your name. So Deb Smith, and I went all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top, all that kind of stuff. So Deb Smith, yeah, get in touch with me for Deb Smith. And that pretty much does the Q&A. I hope it gave you some pretty good value or shed some light on maybe some reseller questions that you were looking for answers, whether it was eBay, Facebook, or Marketplace. Maybe, you know, some of this stuff in this stream propels you to want to be better, maybe, you know, working out or making better choices with your eBay store, finding higher quality items. I don't know, but that's why I do these things. So if you enjoyed it, and for anyone that super chatted me, thank you so much. But if you did enjoy this thing, I'm going to ask you one time right now, hit the like button, because I didn't ask it once in this broadcast. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. There's a little bell next to the subscription button. Because if I ever do, and I'm probably going to do next week with Whitney here, and if you want to see that show live, you're going to need to be notified. So you're going to want to hit the bell next to the subscription button, okay, on my channel. It's pretty easy to do. You'll know exactly when I go live, and you can answer. You can have e-money might be there as well. So we're going to have something really fun. You'll see. But yeah, thank you for anyone that wanted to help me out to do that guide. When the guide comes out, there's going to be an incredible first deal that comes out. So that's always the cheapest my guides will ever be is in week 1. There's always a deal. All right. And I never mimic that deal moving forward because I don't think it's right to do that. But yeah, there's always a deal week 1. So when it comes out, it'll be significantly less than what it is full price. Guaranteed. That's pretty much it. I'll see you later. And Deb Smith, get in touch with me. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.